We're going to go ahead and pull this meeting into order. Mr. Davidson is on his way, so he will be coming in and doing this. So welcome to the Minority Business Report conversation. And I don't really think we need to go around the room and see who's in the room because we don't have that much time. So I would like to open it up directly from having your attention go to the agenda, which is an introduction and summary of positions. And so I'll allow our city personnel to take it away this time.
I'm Jade Dundas, Capital Projects Director, and I'm involved in the interdepartment action team for working on the efforts for changes we're making to contracting and procurement.
My name is Brenda Mills. I just passed work with economic development. I'm the project manager for the Disparity Study. I'm currently in the neighborhood and community engagement manager.
I am Rosanna Mulcahy. I am the current minority business program manager. I've been with the city for about 13 months. I'm part of the equity team too that helps, that hopefully we can work on some of these issues. And yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you for being here. For one to help us go kind of do a deep dive into the report and study. So the next piece is just looking at the past performance, and I'll go turn over to Ms. Brenda Mills.
Okay, so I put together a little two-pager for you guys to kind of check out. One of the things that I'm going to start off with is by saying that I think I suggested to Nia over time that we come back in different segments and talk to you more about how this program works, because having an understanding of that will help you understand what we did in terms of the disparity study. But the second page in the back talks a little bit about how that program, how the learning this program came to be. Up to the point that I came into the office June of 1998. Prior from June 1998 until 2005, this program was a joint program with the City of Asheville and Montgomery County. So not only did we look at contracting for the city, we looked at contracting for the county, and we were county employees. At that time, we had a director. I was hired as the coordinator of the program, so I did certification and training and outreach, and then we had an administrative assistant. We, at that point, we're doing certification, if you can believe that, by paper. It's hard to believe that life has changed that much. We're now in 2019, but everything was paper and fax, okay? And we did review of all city and county contracts. Now, when I say review, we're gonna have a difference with what we did from up till 2005 to what we did when I got to the city. And so we worked with all the departments to kind of show up at the pre-submittal meetings, the bid openings. We helped the departments with outreach. We talked with them about, ways that we can break out contracts to do other things. Also, we did outreach and training to MWBEs. You have heard from the study that we are looking at about 10 counties around the Western North Carolina area and then Charlotte, Mecklenburg. I think I went to 12 of those counties, okay? So site visits is what we used to physically do. Go to the business owners, talk with them, help them fill out the application for certification and do that as well. And then training started out being how to do business with government. And we kept morphing that into trying to help people understand the process. Then what I began to do is look at, so if Michael came in and he owns a trucking company, I spoke directly to Michael about the departments that would need the work that he does. And then eventually what we did is we started doing what we call a reverse trade show, where the city departments would come and set up, and we just invited vendors to come and see us for a day. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. We have tried just about everything. So, it's been fun. I'm one of the people, I also, being African American and not from this community, had to find a community to live in, my African American community. And so a lot of opportunities opened up, MLK breakfast, serving on the gourmet planning team. I used all of that to reach our community, however that looked. We've also worked with the folks in Cherokee. We've had a couple of groups, Hispanic, teenage groups that we have worked with. So that was a good, process. And then we trained internal staff, because what happens is, what I noticed, and specifically when I got more in the city, is that the county wasn't as decentralized as the city was. And then the county started to decentralize because they reduced who was in the purchasing department. So honestly, bringing the school government here to talk to people about proper ways to do contracting. We brought the hub office here to talk to them about certification and how to use hubs. Learning the HubSco system so we can report to the state about building construction. And so we worked a lot with our internal staff. And then annual reporting. So we've been annual reporting since 1999. So from 2000 on, I've been a city employee. And then certification was going to be transitioned to the state of North Carolina right around 2008, 2009. So I started moving all of our certified vendors to what we formerly call the vendor link system. Because they would be ahead of the curve, that when we started doing uniforms,
Did you say that again, system?
vendor link,
Vendor link?
vendor, V-E-N-D-O-R link, L-I-N-K, yeah. The vendor link system, and they would be ahead of the curve, already doing business, because one of the things that we know from this region is that people, it's one thing if your work is just with public agencies. If your work is not just with public agencies, you need other opportunities to get work. We bid on certain things at a certain time at a certain year. So if you don't capture that time, you miss out. And so opening the field to them from the 100 counties and 457 cities was, I thought, a great idea, especially for those who could travel or either work from Asheville. We also have our federal agencies and state agencies here, so I work in partnership with them. There was a training which we still do called Opportunities that comes on the even years, so they will be here next year to do that. And they bring the federal government, the state government, and they work with all the local governments to help training on how to do business in all those areas. And then also we still were reviewing contracting. But what happened when I came to the city now is that if JWE department, thank goodness for the capital project program, if they're doing a project, we're all sharing a Google Doc, and I'm looking at what they're putting in their document. Are the right forms there? Are we looking at the right things? Is the time frame for it to be out there appropriate for this bidding? Jay used to be the water director, and before we did the $40 million spillway, we had about a year's notice on that. And really did a lot of outreach with the different types of work we would need for that spillway. We're talking about $40 million in our community that's being spent on that spillway. And then we still did training for internal staff. But one of the beautiful things I thought was in 2008, we started looking at our contracting practices. So we essentially updated the purchasing and contracting policy. And it basically helped departments understand what we were expected to do by threshold. So right now with the state, anything under $30,000 does not have to be in writing. You can take quotes. Even further under that, up to $5,000 with city staff, we can just maybe take a quote or two. We always ask that you get quotes because you don't know if you're competitive if you don't get quotes. And that does not require a written contract. We can take credit cards, we can, you name it, we can do it. And so a lot of that was done to help smaller businesses and specifically minority businesses. And then we continue to do the annual reporting. Like I said, we did training. I probably did anywhere from 50, 60 a year, which is a lot for one staff person doing it every month. But I like meeting people. I like hearing what people need. I like knowing what are people missing so that we can kind of work on that. I met with MWBE. Some years it was 500 or 600, some years it was less. I'm okay to talk to people about what they need. And then you'll see here down at the bottom a little bit of the annual reporting. As of 2017, we started going back up. And as of 2018, we're almost at 6%. Now, I want to remind you that we had a downturn from probably 2009 up until maybe mid-2014. And then with our bond projects coming online, we have a great opportunity between that and our capital improvement program and a lot of the things that are going to be put in place to kind of break down contracts to begin to help vendors. The study, the original study, if you look at the executive summary, it kind of talks to you about where businesses were at the time that the study was completed, which is around 1993. If you look at the study that we just finished in 2018, they're still in some of that place, but in a different way. So the numbers have shifted a bit. We have more Hispanic businesses, which we expected. We have less African-American businesses that are still in business, but we have younger African-American people who are starting to start businesses and really starting to market themselves. So I'm gonna stop and ask if there's any questions, because I know I had 20 minutes, but I wanted to give you time for a few questions.
And I like that because although the agenda said questions come at the end, I think that it is helpful to kind of bring it out loud. Sure. So does anyone have any questions for Brenda Mills?
How do new business owners that are minority, especially black business owners, that y'all are seeing coming through right now? Are y'all seeing a lot of the new age businesses that are first starting, that are starting out? Because I'm hearing a lot of people say that, they didn't really know that the city of Asheville did, contract, which is, we have to be able to get that information out. But what's the process of outreach to be able to recruit some of these new businesses into the
When you
city?
say new businesses, what types?
More or less the kind of, let's say, contracting, highway, roadway, janitorial, anything that the city of Asheville can contract out at the civic center, anything like rentals and food, anything like that. So, or service vendors.
So a lot of training that
Can I, if I could get whoever's answering the question to kind of summarize the question so the camera can pick it up, that'd be great.
you summarize the question.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So you're asking, how are we working to help people know more about how to do business with the city?
Yes.
Okay. So what I started doing, we've been online with an organized purchasing page for probably about 8 to 9 years. So when you go in the front page of the city website, it says live, work, play. Click on work, and it says bid opportunities, and it takes you straight to the purchasing page. So no longer are you having to go to individual department pages to get that. It's all in one place. The other thing is, for those people who are comfortable with it, we tweet out every bid that goes on our website page. Since 2006, we have been posting bids on the interactive purchasing system. The state of North Carolina does vendor registration through a website portal called the interactive purchasing system. They've been doing that since 2000. So remember, I transitioned everybody over in 2006. So some people are comfortable with that, some people are not. It's totally fine. If they want to call and find out what bid opportunities are out there in the base, they certainly may do that at any time. That's what we're going to do. But they're always there. We tweet them out. When I finally got on Twitter and figured out what I was doing, I would get several tweets a day because everything that goes on the website is tweeted to me. So that, I'm watching what's out there, where we're posting it, that kind of stuff. How long are we posting it? Who's responding to that? And then I also can reach out again. Now remember, there's a couple of agencies that do certification. So there's the state of North Carolina, there's the North Carolina Department of Transportation. That's a little bit tougher certification. Yeah, he knows about that.
I am sure.
Yeah, and then the Small Business Administration. So we're sending it out to all of those agencies. And the other thing, Dolores, that we have tried to do is say Patrick comes in and most of his work is highway and roadway. He's small and just getting started, or maybe he's mid-sized. To me, it makes sense for him to certify NCDOT because he's going to see more work in our region through DOT than with the state. The other thing I should have said, and my apologies, you do not have to be certified, registered, or anything to do business with the city. You have to be a legal entity recognized by the state as a business in order to do business with us.
Can I add to that? You got a question?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we've also done recently projects using the construction manager risk delivery methodology, and we identified a prime to do the management of the work. It's not applicable on all projects, and it's the scope and the size of the project that dictates whether it's applicable. That is a delivery method where we can actually assign a target for MWBE utilization, and we have been successful. One is River Arch District, and that's a federal requirement for that project. We were able to meet our targets on that. The other one that we have more recently done was the HVAC systems at the USO Center. We identified a target on that, and we were able to meet that as well. In that system, we require that the contractor go out and do some of that outreach, and there's a target for that. So they have to meet that target or have a really good reason for not meeting that target. That is also a component of most of our other bids, but that's a little bit more difficult in establishing a target there. But with that CMAR, or construction management risk, that's a really good methodology for us to be able to identify that specific target. Sorry.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks for the annual reporting graphic you put down there, I really appreciate it. I just want to know a little bit about the retention of vendors, because I'm noticing between 2016 and 2017, 11 vendors dropped off, and there's a huge uptick from 2015 to 2016 in the number of firms. So can you tell me a little bit about just retention,
Sure.
what retention looks like, whether there's retention programs, vendors, that kind of thing?
Right, so one of the interesting things about public services, whatever you contract this year may not be what you contract the next year. So that changes who you do business with, that is a statement. And then it just depends on if you're putting out things for bid, who bids on those contracts. So it might be that some of those, I don't know why a lot of those people didn't come back. We can do a deeper dive for you because I don't know who didn't come back from the last year. We can look at that, we actually have a report with the names on there. But number one, it depends on what we're contracting. So in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, we did the Central Business District, we did the water system, pipes or whatever, sewer system, and we spent about $11 or $12 million. We did okay doing outreach, but honestly, I did all this outreach and people showed up the day after everything was bid. So sometimes part of that is not showing up to pre-bid. Now, we don't require mandatory pre-bids anymore unless it is a highly technical project. And I would say a $40 million spillway is a highly technical project where you would need people to do site visits, things of that nature. So when we have to require mandatory, that means if you don't show up, you cannot bid as a prime, but you can bid with the prime as a subcontractor if they were able to get to that time. Is that a little bit?
Yeah, that helps a little bit. So I'm just wondering about like the relationships that are developed after someone becomes a vendor. Like, I didn't understand like a regular email communication, because I know you tweet out and that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about, developing a cohort model based on vendors, like certain people that, this contract, they fit into the MWBE framework, like let's keep them involved, let's keep them engaged in similar contracts, even though year to year those contracts change. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. So we have not officially done that. That is some work that the city is working towards going forward with. Now, capital, water, parks, public works, they all keep lists of vendors who have been on projects before or who have been successful with award of projects. They also keep what type of work they do. And they, beyond just getting, putting on the website, going to the interactive person system, getting tweeted out, every person doing some outreach, they get a direct email that says, we just put this project out.
To a certain extent, I think reverse vendor fair was.
The reverse vendor fair was intended to do that.
And y'all still do that?
We had to stop because I changed jobs. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Opportunities that I talked to you about are done on the even years. Sometimes it's not as cost effective for smaller businesses to come to that. It used to be $40, $50. Now it's got a little over $100 just because of the local. We've had to move from the Grow Park in and something that was a little less cheaper to something that was a little bit more expensive. Because we have, with that conference, you probably have anywhere from 4 to 500 people that attend. So you need a big facility. to manage it. So we said, well, what about if I work with the purchasing agent and the other departments, and I said, why don't we just do the same thing just locally? So we started with the city. We have about 14 departments now. At the time, I think about 12 came. And they're on site. We do outreach, tell people to come. It's free to the public. And so they can come and talk to Public Works directly about the type of work they do. You can talk to legal about the type of legal services that you provide. And then they can give you an idea of some of the work that is coming up. They have cars, they have way to outreach to you. We were on 17, 18 would have been the 6th year. And we had gotten up to the city, the county, Montgomery County, Waynesville, a few other western counties, some of the schools, some of the service providers, service providers, like the Mountain Business Works, Carolina Small Business. And we had gotten to where the numbers were getting up to close to 100 people coming. But that was a way to kind of put us on the ground so that people could kind of come and talk to us and see what we are doing. I have a different idea for doing that, so that we save money and we do it more often. Is just have a city hallway where you just come in if you're a vendor, you come in if you're a neighborhood person. We don't care what you need. We're going to set up in City Hall or someplace near where City Hall is, and you come and talk to us about what you do business and other things. So that is hopefully something we can restart again. Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, you asked the question.
Yes. Yes.
I had a question on, I think you mentioned the RFP limit, anything, is it anything below $30,000?
So, so let's get all our stuff in context. So, construction, procurement, which is bad stuff, construction, building, and
General services.
general services. General services don't have limits. We put limits on our general services so that we can do contracting. So in the statute, there are no limits on general services. So we can say you don't have to do stuff under a certain limit. We just keep it uniform. For RFPs, we keep the same limits as we do with construction and with purchasing. Purchasing is a little bit different because it's a little bit lower. But yeah, and
Yeah, my question just around that is, say under $30,000 for small businesses, that's
a lot.
all the contracts that we possibly get on. So for businesses of that size, how do they find out about what opportunities are available if they're not on the bid stage? And does the city have any data as to whether we get more equity for projects that are above that limit or below? That's kind of
Well, the question is that the threshold for procurement at $30,000, what to get more equity purchases are at that threshold versus above that threshold? We have not analyzed that information. But what we are working on is, and I was going to get to that a little bit later, is a draft policy which would help us to do more targeted outreach to small minority businesses in that 30,000 and under range. And so if that is an area for the services that Brenda mentioned, that we have the most flexibility with regard to outreach and how we try to procure those services. We are looking at we're drafting a policy, and we're going to try to implement something that actually would require staff to look at an availability list, which we now have as part of the Disparity Study. We requested that information, we got that information. So that would be the basis for starting a vendor list, and we would look at that as a primary source, whatever list that Brenda had explained are owned and maintained by the departments, and also outreach to Rosanna and try to identify contractors that provide whatever services, whether that be ground maintenance, concrete, janitorial work, and if there are identified contractors, then that is the area that we have the most flexibility to do the outreach more specifically with that group. Now, the amount of outreach, whether it be 100% or some 50% or some portion, we're going to have to work through those details, but we are trying to focus on that moving forward. I don't know that we have that data, and we probably recreated it in the past, but I don't know that we see much difference.
And say today, you know, I have landscaping services. I'm a 1 or 2 person company, so I'm not doing $30,000 contracts. Like, what do I do to let the city know I make those services available? Is there an official list to sign up for, or do you just kind of contact parks and stuff?
Great question. The question is, how do you identify yourself as a vendor that provides a certain service for city procurement? Again, this kind of goes into what we're going to get into in the future, but I feel comfortable in doing that. Okay. It is part of the next, yeah. Okay.
Close out, but I did see a question in the back.
Yeah,
And I also wanted to kind of address what were some of those barriers that were faced. I don't know if that's what's really.
I just want to say, y'all have a difficult job.
This is loud, so
Okay,
yeah.
y'all have a difficult job. And let me say that some of us who collect data know that a lot of great intentions when it comes down to the data. For instance, in 2015, African-American owned firms got $262.50 in construction contracts. Some of us collect that data. And the only reason why we do is to try to help with policy. I guess my question is, why is it that some people, let me just, I guess, say, or ask, what are you going to do different that's going to, the definition of insanity, no problem can be solved with the same level of consciousness that created it. I can go ad infinitum on all those old songs, but what is going to be materially different? Because one of the things that I noticed about Asheville, North Carolina, and I am native, is that there's a certain group of people who are intentionally left excluded, who have talent, know-how, and ability. The thing about that is, and I'm not saying that from an egotistical standpoint, but minority contractors, and particularly black contractors, are not doing good under this system. They are absolutely just devastated by it. So I guess my first question is, what is going to be made different? Another question that I had was the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians has left off this list. They were on this list. I was their representative. It was the 1, 2, 3.
I would love it if you would email me. That's what I got. That's what I received from the past.
We were the only technical assistance firm that provided exclusive services to ethnic minority businesses, blacks, Hispanics, 5 declared ethnic minority groups. And I was there detailed from Atlanta, Georgia, to create this. But at any rate, my other question is, what is going to be different that is going to change this dynamic? Why have you left out certain technical assistance providers? I heard Mountain Biz Works, I heard Self-Help Credit, or whoever, and that's fine. But there are some of us who are culturally competent, who have demonstrable results that are left out and excluded. You know, I used to be ashamed of saying stuff like that, but if you don't name something, it never gets addressed. So I just want to know how that's going to benefit everybody. I know about politics, who's not so-called popular or palatable, if you will. But what happens when you exclude ability is that those vulnerable people never get addressed. So I'm asking that too. Those of us who have the ability and who are in business, I've certified more people for DOT than any other black professional in this area and region. That doesn't happen. Why is it that we're excluded, and why is it that only certain white institutions or so-called technical assistance providers are even mentioned in the same breath? It's not fair, and what is going to be essentially different? I guess not done.
And so we're just going to go right into the next portion of that, with answering this week's question. So just looking at what has the city learned from the disparity study, meaning exactly what this is, two-part question.
So part of my work when I came to the city, because it was no longer a joint program, there was no staff other than me. And the fact that our program was not set up to be a business development program. It's intended to be an outreach program to help the city with minority and businesses. Using those agencies is what has been helpful for us. There is no exclusion, to my knowledge. There may be something that I don't know about, but I'm going to say to my knowledge, there is no exclusion of anyone. People have come to me and told me who they have worked with. I have included that information. But if people don't tell us, we don't know. And if, for example, I know you have your 501c3 that you're doing some work, be glad to work with you. That's not a problem. I think I've offered before. I
incorporate 501c3s. I have a C corporation.
Okay. Well, we would be glad to work with you. That's never.
My bad, I put them there and forgot all about it.
The other question is, what is going to be done different, and that's what you said.
And from a standpoint of what is going to be done different, we are looking at changing a lot of the ways that we have done outreach, the policies that we talked about earlier. You know, to address services under $30,000. If we draft a policy that says specifically that staff must consider available contractors, and if there are contractors available for that service, then they must reach out to a percentage of contractors that are in that category, then we can use that information to help further the equity associated with those procurement in those services. That's a change. That's a change for those vendors under $30,000. We would love to grow a contractor. We talk a lot about subcontractors and small contractors. In our contracting situation right now for large projects, we would love to grow our contractor base and be able to get people involved at a higher level as well. So I think that some of the outreach work and the contractor development that we've considered is important to not only bring people on board, but also to continue to get them work. The retention question was asked earlier, and then also develop them into big service providers that can help us be successful, and for us to help them be successful in the future. One other thing, and this kind of touches on Patrick's question from earlier about vendor registration, Brenda kind of alluded to maybe some local vendor link, maybe more of a local system right now. It was mentioned that we do a lot of DOT hub certification. That's a pretty onerous task to get out there and do that work and to be certified. So, and then if it doesn't pay benefit, then it feels pointless. And so what we have focused on is trying to address a more local outreach and registration program. We have considered, our finance group did some research on a local vendor registration. I keep calling it local. It's a vendor registration program, but basically it would be administered locally. And what that would allow contractors to do is they could sign up as a business, designated as a minority or woman-owned business. They would register for notifications locally through tweets, emails, phone calls, and then also you would register based on a commodity code. So if you're a concrete contractor, painting contractor, you would enter that code of work in the system, and you'd be able to be contacted and informed of work as it came up. It's not dissimilar to our interactive procurement system through the state, which we have to use, but we'll continue to use. This gives a little bit more focus to a little bit closer to home. We have, and this is kind of an outgrowth of some work that was done prior to the release of the Disparity Study. There was a group that met developing the Equity Action Plan. The Equity Action Plan looked at 5 topic areas that we really wanted to concentrate on. Those topic areas were vendor outreach, rewriting policies, and the minority, considering modifications and refresh of the minority business plan. Local vendor registration was specifically part of that. Better data collection and management. And then the 5th one was very specifically working on that under $30,000 procurement area. So those are, end of last year, Disparity Study came out, we kind of had that equity action plan identified. A new group kind of set in and started working on those things. I'm happy to say as of last week, we have identified a vendor registration program that is in addition to our Munis model. And so that's our county system that we use right now. But we're going to be able to tag that vendor system onto that. We'll start doing outreach to the vendors that we know are available, and we'll start plugging them into the system. And so as work comes up, we'll have immediate outreach to the local contractor community for that work. So it's purchased, it's installed. Now we all they have to do is start training on it and get it implemented. And so I'd say that's probably a couple month process, but it really is. It helps to do something different. We were using the IPS in the past. This is an attempt to bring that notification a little bit closer.
Before we move on to your question, Michael, I want to make sure that I address Ms. Lee's question. I believe her question was, why is the city funding, for example, Mountain Works and perhaps the Western Women Business Center to do training,
No, not really.
It was a lot of
It's along the line of why. Let me just say this. When numbers tell you that something is not working, we certainly have enough data to now know that it is not, especially people who look like me, especially. And so that's worrisome. And let me just say this, and I'm going to just disclose it as well. We were hired by the city to do a minority capital gap study, the Economic Development Division, as pertains to specifically Black-owned businesses. And what came back was some of the contracts that they had executed with Mountain Works, with self-help, with even other purveyors like SBTDC. It showed where they were ineffective as well. So I'm not saying why you execute a contract. I know why. It's because these are the standard areas. And those of us who are not, that's not what I'm saying. Why are we excluded? Because we kind of are part of the fabric too. And it's not that we're not competent, we're just not on the inside. And so we know that. I don't know why that is. That's why I asked, why is it that those of us who look like me, who may not be of that ilk or Mountain Works or whoever, why are we always excluded? I mean, we're not in the purveyor category, even though we own, and I put down over 100 city streets. None of the people there have ever done construction the way I have or other people. And we have the competence to do it with, complete competence. Negotiate the first contract for an African American from the City of Asheville. It doesn't mean anything. So I guess my question, instead of being ashamed and sitting here not saying it, why is that? Why is that? I don't understand that. Why is it that you keep dealing with the same people and never give anybody else an opportunity? That's all.
When you say dealing with, what do you mean?
Just providing opportunities to the same people. Because you'll see that these are, well, it comes from the fact that they're constructs, and they're usually based on power.
But when you say opportunities to like Mountain, are you talking about like
Funding,
funding?
referrals, like in the Disparity Study, when they start lining up entities that are doing what they should be doing to help minority businesses, they were right there. But there were none of us mentioned, not even in who started this minority business program, to be found. So I guess that's what I'm alluding to, because I was detailed by the Eastern Band from Atlanta, the National U.S. Department of Commerce, to help the City of Asheville and Montgomery County set this program in writing, and it's not here. And I don't want to see my name, but I would like to see Eastern Band and Cherokee. So that kind of thing.
What I understand, and I don't, is that there are organizations such as Mountain Works, Eagle Market Street, Western Women Business Center that receive what we call CDBE funding, Community Development and Upgrade funding. They receive it through an application process. And that funding is supposed to be used for business development. I think maybe that's what he's talking about, because otherwise if she's not talking about that, I don't know, I don't understand what she's talking about. So those companies those nonprofits they receive these grants to work with the community. But,
one question on the page, I don't hear the question, I straight with the question. What question are you trying to do?
About
opportunities, like
Just
you're
straight
saying.
with the question, I don't hear the question, what is this question?
Well, I said I don't understand the question very well, but I can talk to why.
Then, Ms. Williams is basically saying that,
No, so I don't think she asked you. The question that was trying to answer.
the question she asked.
What is the question?
So the question is, why are some people excluded from having opportunities when the same individuals, nonprofits, and organizations
Okay.
continue to get those grant opportunities and even deals?
And my understanding is that's how London this works, and Carolina Small Business or the Western Women Business Center get the funding. It's through a grant process, and that is done by the economic development portion, the community development portion of the community and economic development piece. I can say that one of the things that like I said, I've been here for about 13 months. One of the things that I've noticed is that those relationships are not doing what I think the funding is supposed to be doing, just like Ms. Lee said. So I'm going to agree with Ms. Lee that those funding are not going, but I don't think, and this is just my opinion, that it's that Mountain Business Works or the Western Women Business Center are not trying. It's just that the goal, for example, I'm going to give an example. When the Western Women Business Center submits an application for funding for CDBG, they will say something, we will assist 25 local artists this year. Okay, so that's what they're saying that they're going to do. So that's what they do. How does that relate to contracting? It doesn't really much unless we're going to try to hire an artist. So I think there is a misunderstanding or miscommunication between how those funds could be used and how they're being used. So to me, it would make sense that the Western Women Business Center would say, we're going to help 10 construction businesses this year. We're going to help 5 HVAC businesses this year. We're going to help 2 catering businesses that can do business with the city. And then the economic development says, yes, this is where the grant money goes. But I'm not part of that. I can only speak for what I see. So that's something else that needs to be addressed. But I can see where Ms. D is saying that some people are given the opportunities and some are not.
Thank you. Michael, had a question?
So in workforce development, we have a phrase, you can't turn on the faucet if there ain't no pipeline. So I'd love to hear about what pipelines are being developed right now to nurture minority-owned businesses within our community. I think you talked a little bit about MWBE Works, you talked a little bit about Western Women's Conference and things like that. So obviously maybe those things aren't working, but I'm wondering what kind of outreach is already being done. And a couple of examples I'll give, because I think Brenda, you've probably been doing this before, the POC in public service cohort. You know, we have those luncheons and things like that. That is a beautiful model for how to engage folks and create a pipeline, especially for people of color within government. So I'm wondering what the similar models have ever been tried before. I'm also thinking about the Brian Hamilton Foundation. You know, they do the Inmates and Entrepreneurs Program. Has there ever been any outreach to that? But can y'all speak a little bit more towards other providers outside of the ones that Dee just mentioned that are developing this pipeline? Because if we don't create these pipelines, then you know we're going to say, why aren't you pulling from this faucet? But there's no pipe to turn the faucet on. So can y'all speak a little bit to that? And as to whether investment can become one of those 5 strategic priorities I talked about earlier. Does that question make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's also in line with just the agenda part B of section number 3.
I'd like to
what Michael spoke about is the outreach, the community outreach pipeline and things like that, so.
So specifically though, with the community outreach, it isn't just, hey, let's talk to contractors. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how are you developing contractors? How are you moving people in on the project? How are you creating the pipeline? Because obviously we all know there's a problem with getting minority contractors in. What is the city doing to create that pool? Does that make sense? What investment is happening to create that? That's the question.
So I can only speak for the work that I'm doing. My understanding, like Ms. Brenda said, is that before, if you are ready to do business with the city, we would show you how to do business, we would send you to the website, and we would show you how to become hub certified and stuff like that. I think that that's great, but I think that we have a very talented pool of individuals in the community that we need to develop. And that's how I meet with, I've come here many times to talk with Michael Hayes. I do contact Hunter This Works and Western Women Business Center and ask him if there's any African American, Latino, Asian American, Native Americans, or women who are within the categories of the city contracts with. I work with Heatherly too here in creating opportunities, and that's more like a grassroots thing.
Yeah, I used to work there. I know that's how we think.
And I try to. That's how I try to get individuals who are perhaps trying to decide where to go.
Thank you.
So I would say about pipeline, you need resources for that.
See, now we
You
can
need
get somewhere.
people, you need people, and you need resources.
So what does that look like?
That looks like more staff, right? Because 80% of the minority business program job is looking at contracting. If the city's spending 60, 70, 80, $90 million, I'm looking at contracting. That's what I spend most of my day on top of going out to do target training, things of that nature. But it's going to take the contracting, interdepartmental action team, and some other folks to kind of sit down and look at a strategy. That's something we have never done. That's been something I've done, but not as a city as a whole. And I think they're coming to that place where they're sitting down and saying, where's going to be that pipeline, and how are we going to manage that and make it sustainable?
So as someone that's experienced and versed within this field, what do you think are some of the resources that are going to be needed to create that pipeline? So specifically, I'm talking about the investment, whether it be financial or staff-based, in order to create the pool that we're talking about.
So,
I'm not saying that it's not already there, but I'm just saying further develop so that it's a larger pool.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I know.
Oh, we all friends here. Me and Ed don't speak out of turn.
So I'm not going to speak out of turn on camera, okay? So, not going to do that. Nah. I generally only speak out of turn to my confidential friends who don't go out and say stuff. So I don't call people's names. What I want to say is that when you are looking at a pipeline, you have to figure out what's out there. So part of that is understanding community, asking community. So one of the things that Rosanna, I believe, is going to start is with a focus group. There'll be some conversation for those people to be a part of that focus group. They will represent all of the minority types that we see. We can add people, we can take people away, we can volunteer, those kind of things. The Mountain Community Capital Fund is set up specifically to have guarantees for funding. So if you want a loan for your business, the city will guarantee that. We've also got funding from the county, but a part of that means that you have to do some type of business development. To be real honest, this is not a business. It is not always business, but most businesses are not ready to do business when they come to us. It's not about paperwork, fill out, or anything. They just don't have the resources. So creating that fund will be a way to get them mobilized and capitalized. I'm not going to say that the certifications are onerous because I did them for 20 years, so I'm going to tell you what they are. If you're doing DOT certification, it is income based. Guess why? They don't want to be helping everybody in this room if you are already making $10 million a year. You are not a disadvantaged business. So they put you through that so that they weed out the people that don't need program. Because guess what they need? They're getting ready to come here to do their contractors conference. So we'll be talking to you, G, about helping us outreach for that. They give startup money for projects. They give all of this stuff. They don't need to be giving it to these two contractors who are making $10 million a year when I'm barely scratching out a living trying to get there. But they're giving the funding, and they're giving the training, they're giving all of that. That's been some of our pipeline. What I would say about CDBG funding is that I don't know that we've ever put in the contract that they have to do an hourly salary. So you cannot give people money and say, this is what we expect you to do, and we didn't tell you that. So that's something that may need to be looked at for the future. And if you are giving them funding, what is still your justification as opposed to giving more resources to the ME program, right? To do more things, to hire more resources to come in, so.
I have requested a budget.
Yeah.
It's, budget hasn't passed yet, but I've made some requests for funding.
And I got $320,000 worth of disparity study. Took me years to get that. Because there wasn't the funding to do it. And we had lean years, and I finally said, let's just be a magnitude. Give me half of it one year, half of it another year. But in order to keep this program going, right now we're a gender neutral program, gender and race neutral program. We want to go to race conscious and gender conscious, which means that when we target on projects like Jade talked about, there will be specific programs in place. We've got benchmarks about things that we can do, but we have to make it Asheville centric. Because we're different. We're not a Charlotte, we're not a Raleigh, we're not anything. We're Asheville. We need you to talk to us, the city does, these folks, about where are there pipelines that we're missing. Because we can't do it all by ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So you know of pipelines, so you know something. I work with just about every agency in this town to do that. So if there's something we are missing, we would be glad to know about that.
Yeah, so it sounds like y'all haven't worked with inmates and entrepreneurs yet, right?
No, because that's in business development. Sure.
Because we really need to move forward with what's going on, but I think that this conversation deserves some follow-up. Just put that out there. And I know Chris had questions.
I do.
Sorry.
I have a couple of quick questions. You were talking about staffing a few minutes ago. When you were doing this work, Ms. Mills, and you were doing all the outreach and everything, what did your staff look like?
Me.
Okay. Was that for the full duration of your time with that job? And Ms. Mulcahy, what does your staff look like? So if we're trying to do new and different things and we're talking about the amount of work that's involved, are we looking at adding staff to support the pipe?
I developed a plan, and it's a 3-year plan. I think it needs about 3 years at least. And the first year, when I'm requesting funding, I want the funding to go directly to the community. For example, I want to have a group that I can work with and incentivize the individuals who are in that group so that they can continue to stay engaged, especially because that group that we are looking at is the group of individuals who cannot take 3 hours of work to come and help the city when they need to make their rent, when they need to provide for their families. So I feel like that for the first year or two, working with the community, getting from the community, understanding from the community what they need, how can we move forward, how can we can provide. Using funding that way is more beneficial than hiring someone to go out and do outreach with me per se, because we will be involved with the community and they will be doing outreach and we will be assisting the community that way. And then in the third year, I see perhaps a half a position or a full-time position depending at the time on the success. But at the beginning, I see us working with the community, and instead of paying an employee, rewarding the community for their work rather than telling the community, hey, we need your feedback, and you need us for 2 hours here, and you do the work, and we're just gonna not give you anything in return. So that's the plan. I don't know, that's what I've submitted, that's what we're working on. And if it's successful, maybe in 5 years we'll have 10 people. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm just raising the concern that we did one person, we worked her hard for how many ever years, we want to switch things up, and then we've got like another one person. So, but I hear what you're saying. Thank you.
Okay, just in moving forward, down number 4, what is just the level of transparency with the community if things don't go right, or as far as your implementation based on the minority report study? Like, would there be some form of readjustment or realignment?
So I'm gonna try to answer that along with addressing something that I really want to talk about in the 3 is the data part portion of this. And I know that the data has been, the question of data availability has been on the table for a while. We have the data set, Brenda and I talked about that today. But also part of the vendor registration program is a better data set as we go versus trying to pull together a data set every 5 to 10 years and hoping that the information is there in paper or whatever format. So what we're doing moving forward is being very, very thoughtful and concentrating on not only who is available and how we're utilizing those individuals, but also we have started requiring in some departments and plan on rolling this out for all departments that are doing major contracts is the submission of subcontractor data. So we want to get better at collecting the amount of subcontractors that are being used. We have a form for that, the NBN Minority Business Form 5. It just hasn't been utilized as it will be in the future. And so we're going to start collecting that data. So I'm going to shift this to item 4 is that in order for us to know how successful we're being how implementing these strategies, we need to be able to measure it. And it needs to be measured more than every 5 to 10 years. And so these 2 individuals have done a great job of trying to pull together reports annually with data that is not all that great. We want to help as an organization present a better data package so that annual report or the quarterly report or the monthly report can be an indicator of how good we're doing. Now, with that said, is that if we notice that things, we implement a local vendor registration program, watch that work for 6 months or a year, and find that we're not seeing the needle move on developing the equity or closing the disparity gap here, then we should identify something else. And so that would be what I would propose is that the value of that information is being able to assess what we're doing on a more regular basis, and then come to this group and come to other community groups and say, you know what, we tried this. And here's the data that we think indicates whether it worked or whether it didn't work. And so now we're going to try something else or be able to use that information and be willing to come out to the community as often as we can and as often as we need to and have this conversation around the success of the program.
Let me ask you all a question that you wouldn't mind. Can every one of you list at least 5 to 7 minority businesses that you know? Absolutely. No. So, and are there businesses that could do business with us?
With the city.
And would you be willing to email us? Because that's what we're not getting, right? We're not finding people at all. So as you know of people that want to do it, just send them our way. We have a way to go ahead and register people people. But we can start the database until we get everything in place. We should be getting that in place soon. But we can at least get them completing our vendor application, which is 2 pages. And go ahead, because we can't find these folks.
You know what's funny? This is a small town. Like I know you know people in this point. She said that absolutely. Are you surprised to know that?
No.
Why aren't you getting this? I mean, this is a small town.
You're at, so.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you.
No, I know you're not asking me, but what I'm saying to you is, we have to close the gap. So, everybody know Patsy Keeper? I have gotten 10 minority businesses from Patsy Keeper, because every time they come and do work at her house, she sends me an email. That's how I have gotten referrals. They do work at my house, so I refer them to the city to do business. That would be helpful to us. I'm not saying you don't or don't want to. That would be helpful to us. Because they know you, and you feel comfortable with us. If you just want to give us a list, or if you want to make an introduction, or something, that would be huge. Yes, ma'am.
I would say that a lot of the people that I deal with, one of the reasons why probably the city hasn't seen them is because of the way they have been treated by the city, historically and systemically throughout, generations. So there's a level of fear of dealing with the city of Asheville and doing business with them, especially when the Disparity Study came out, and we had that amount of money that was given to black contractors. About $252 is beyond this. It's just completely dissatisfactory and not what the city should be standing to represent as far as equity and inclusion. And that's an issue that has been sitting ingrained in the minds of, especially people in communities that you see such as this. And there's always a level of fear when you have white people, when you see especially white women who have benefited from the minority business office more than any other sector in this city. So there is a disconnect as far as a distrust, because a lot of people feel as though no matter what they do, they're going to be quite frankly damned if they're doing, damned if they don't. So I think one of the things that need to happen is that the city's going to have to start to use people who are actually boots on the ground, as you said, but these people you can't use these people for free either. These people need to be compensated for their work. The city needs to be able to create funding opportunities for these individuals to be able to do the work that should have been done a long time ago. And I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. I think that's a conversation a lot of people are trying to avoid. We all know that the city has a limited amount of resources, and the money, as you said, that $300,000 that you got came the hard way. So we're going to have to sit down as a city collectively to adjust our thinking and the way we do business, not just with contractors, but with the way we do business with our community members. That's my biggest suggestion, to be able to deal with that, because the folks that I know, they are extremely afraid of the city of Asheville. And it's just because of the historical constructs that have been attached to the ideology about trying to go to them and get businesses.
Thank you.
I have one quick one. What is your guys' marketing like? How would you say, is it robust? Do you promote these opportunities on WRES, the Urban News?
We have. Over the years, we've used the radio station, the website, interactive purchasing system. We tweet. We have done direct target marketing to folks to do business. So yeah, and I think there's a plan to start building on a lot of the stuff we're doing now, because now we have, if I'm not mistaken, Rosanna's been putting stuff on Facebook. She's been reaching out to all the Facebook groups where African Americans, Hispanic, whatever are, putting those opportunities out there. But I would say this, Dolores, I've heard this a lot, I've heard what you said a lot. If you can talk to us about what that looks like and what that sounds like. I'm not asking you to drag them to City Hall, but we can't fix what we don't know.
Absolutely.
You just cannot fix what you don't know. And if somebody comes up and says, because I will tell you, our staff has turned over, since I got there in 2005, I would say six to seven times. So whoever heard them the last time, there's a whole new set of people there waiting to do business with these folks. I'm not joking. We are waiting to do business with these folks. So if you can share what some of that is, then we can begin to move forward. Because I don't wanna see us in 2000, in the 22nd century, I'm gonna be dead. But still having these conversations, right?
I have a question, it kind of goes along with what Dolores and Chris said. This in the chapter 1 of the report, in the introduction, you're saying that you're going to sponsor workshops and conferences that help minority and women-owned businesses become actively involved in city contracting. And so when can we expect to see that? Has that already taken place?
That's been done since I've been in corporate. Now, that will be, she's just been there 13 months. I took her job. So at this point, she's working on a plan to kind of put all that stuff together, so we should start seeing that.
The way I see it is, because of the way that African American community has been treated by the city, there's a lot of self-doubt. We have very talented African Americans who do the work, but I feel like they're so traumatized that they're afraid to go or try to be because they don't see by the community. Even though I tell them, although it may not be something that you do, just coming in so you can get used to being surrounded by people and you know what questions to ask and you can learn. And so far only one contractor has taken me off of that, and it's and I understand it's the fear of once again being slapped in the face, and I think those are some of the things we need to work on before we can move forward.
And,
So my question is really around the data and other information the cities collect, and transparency around that information. One of the things I've heard from a lot of people since the study was even completed was what data is in there and how can we look at it and how can we drill down and look at the data in ways that might not be represented in the overview report.
Right.
And, through this session, we've talked about a number of different reports and programs and annual reporting, but, none of that information, as far as I know, is available to the public, so.
Eric Jackson is working on that. I met with him and Rosanna.
Yeah.
We're beginning to take a look at that data and possibly do some trend analysis. And also, they're writing some software that will update that data on a monthly basis. So that's in process. I do know that.
Contractors on the open world, there's some, I think, you've been curious about the individual department, I don't think that's on there.
That's being worked on.
But that is being
Right
worked
now.
on, exactly.
Right now.
Because the vendor data on the data portal is
Eric Jackson
not
is the person.
for this kind of analysis.
Very good.
Okay, so I think that's good. My suggestion would be whatever information, even if it's older, making that available could be valuable.
We'll be glad to put the data set out there that we use for the study. They did the pulling of data from the unit system. We're glad to do that. That's not a problem.
Has there been any performance metrics attached to the entities that the city uses to be able to fund some of these programs, like you say about BizWorks and some other? Are those any performance metrics attached to see whether or not, that so much versus one of the things I see is when we don't have performance metrics attached to something, a lot of times people can stay in the same place for a long period of time without being required to have any type of result. And so I'm wondering if the city would encompass some other people or organizations into that fold and put performance measures on that. Would that reduce the amount of time the city is wasting dealing with entities that are not performing as well, and they can go to other people to give everybody a round table chance?
I don't work that part of the economic development. I do know that there's reports that the economic development people receive because of the grants. I I know that someone else requested that information not long ago, so if there's a sunshine request, I'm sure that it will be met.
To answer your question, we will take that back to community development, because there's an interim director now managing the program. And we could talk to him about that being something for the future, because I think it's something we do have to take a hard look at. Especially if, it's like I said, you cannot say we're not giving you funding because you didn't have 25 minority businesses when you didn't tell them that. You know, you have to be fair, you have to say, we expect this to happen.
And are you talking about CDBG funding specifically when you're talking about these organizations? So, correct me if I'm wrong, CDBG funding is approved by the city council, isn't it?
It is through the Housing and Community Development Committee to City Council. Right. Yeah. So that's why I said we would talk to the manager, and then they can kind of address that.
Because they score those reports, right? So they score those reports, and then they send those scores to the city council, and then the city council reviews, and then they decide to use the fund.
And you have just about a whole new set of staff people in community development, except for maybe two. So they're taking a hard look at a lot of those past contracts to kind of see, are they getting the performances that they need? And to open up the door. Anybody is allowed to apply for this funding. You know, just understand this is federal funding and it requires reporting. So, and if you can't meet those metrics, you know, it gets a little difficult. But I know they have taken a hard line with some of the folks that have not been doing the reporting. I know a couple of people did not get funded for this current year. So, but we will definitely take that back. That's great.
What would your message, if you had to do a soundbite, what would your message to the community be about where you guys are going? If somebody came up, I mean, if
So
somebody,
I don't have a plan, so with the
if somebody came up on the street and said, hey, I heard about the disparity report, how's it going? What would your message be at this point?
I'd say that we recognize the need to move and the urgency associated with that. We really want to make sure that the moves that we make are effective. So we also understand that there's a need to communicate. And so being able to give you a progress report or anybody a progress report is important. But we do feel like the strategies that were identified and even the things that we're receiving, I mean, the strategies that have kind of been kicked around today and I suggested today about creating a pipeline, I think it's a great sixth strategy for us. And if we're having difficulty answering that, then we need to look at that more seriously. But just being able to focus on getting these things done and delivering and then being able to monitor the progress of this.
I have a question. I guess one of the things that I value, and I don't know if other people do, is integrity. I do value that, but being honest, just being honest about something. And when it comes to just, I guess, just being honest about the fact that the city has tried this over and over and over, ad infinitum. And so, when is it going to happen that we finally have to come to Jesus moment and say the city may not be the best entity to do this? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to be humble enough to get out of your own way. And so, I don't know, I'm just looking and I'm listening, I've heard this a lot, and I know y'all want to do right, but no problem can be solved with the same level of consciousness they create. Let me tell you, I've worked on these streets for 20 years, and some of the problems that are keeping contractors out are barriers, and some of the same individuals are still there. And I worked a lot with the street department and the public works department. I'm telling you, I'm being very honest. That is not a conducive playing ground for the meek and the new people who are nuanced and new. That's a tough business. Any type of highway work is a lot of tough business. So I'm speaking from 20 years of experience doing this, but I just want to say to you that it's so critical. When I look at the numbers in the Disparity Study, African Americans, even though we're the largest minority group in Asheville, we are doing worse than anybody else. That is not normal. That is nuance. That means that there's racial discrimination. There is not cultural competency in what's going on. And sometimes when it's that blatant, you have to take another tack. You really do. And there's been some success with contractors and other folks, but you don't get those numbers by going outside of Charlotte and hiring an A&E firm. You hear what I'm saying? Those dollars don't spend it actually. Only our local dollars. I'm interested in a local pipeline, not going out creaming a black-owned A&E or whatever firm. Those kinds of things are what are in that report. I don't know if y'all saw that, but this is what I'm trying to do, is to zero in on what this really says, where we're going, where we've been, how we're going to get there. Key performance metrics are just crucial to what we're doing. And you know, in some cities I've worked in, it's key even to departmental heads, it's merit pay. So before it gets that way, we need to really come up with a way, a nuanced way. We're talking business development. I don't know if y'all, another legal question is, as the owner of a project, how much are you really allowed to interface with contractors who are bidding on that? Okay? I used to always ask that. I mean, and most people who know enough about contracting know that the owners cannot put themselves in a situation. There's only a certain amount. That is why a lot of cities contractors work out, because they are in fact the owners. So those are some nuances, and I'm going to be quiet. That I have a lot of experience and I don't want to over-talk anybody, but these are some of the real things that we have to do to get from where we are to where we need to go. It can be done, but unless you own the business and not being somebody that's clocking in as a bureaucrat, it's impossible to do. I'm just going to be very frank with you. It's a whole nother book.
So we're coming down to the close of our meeting and conversation. And I know, questions and comments just came throughout the thread, so we're just going to focus on looking at how the HRCA can support your departments. And some suggestions on the most effective ways to reach the community. Is one thing that we can do to support you guys. What are some things that you think, as a commission that is focused on equity within the city, how can we best support your departments?
I think being out here today this is a very effective dialogue from the standpoint of having this feedback, having these suggestions for additional strategies is very, very important to helping us be successful. If we're shooting at the wrong target, then we're not going to get it, And so being able to come out here and hear feedback from this group has been very helpful to me. I think it's going to be important for us to get to use the vendor registration program for a while, monitor it, and then come back out and see, kind of how that's working. I completely understand. If there's a history of doing this over and over again, it sounds like just another skip in the record. I get how that can be frustrating, but this is what we're faced with right now. If we move to this direction and a different direction, we certainly can look at those things as well.
I will say this, really appreciate all the comments, really appreciate all the ideas. And in my new role with neighborhoods, one of the things I tell neighborhoods is I can't take what I don't know about, right? We've had issues in neighborhoods. We've been working with Burton Street on the mitigation project. I've had to get tough with the folks about some things, but I don't want over time for folks to feel like they can't call and get their questions answered, that they cannot come to us and do business. And so if that person can come, if you can support helping some way for them to have a pipeline to address those issues with you and as a third party, and then provide that to Rosanna and Jade, that would be very helpful. Because we cannot fix what we don't know. And then keep in mind, and I always say this, that, and Rosanna said that too, some people are naturally marketing people. They just work at it, they just do it when they walk around. Dee's a good example. They just do it. And some people are not. So that identifying where people have weaknesses is helpful to get them to that next step. I am not running a business so that I can eat and pay my mortgage. I'm work every day and clocking in and getting a paycheck. Everybody's not good. So that may be something I can do part-time, that's not something I can do full-time. And so helping people be really, where do you want to go, process is going to be helpful. So we need to find some folks that they feel comfortable talking to. That was the whole point of having business service providers, to help them get to that point. And that they're not, barring from people to pay Paul constantly. Because when the downturn came, that wiped a bunch of people out. And it was unfortunate. But if you could be that third party body that hears a lot of that and encourages a lot of that, that would be great. That's a great feedback for us.
I think that we have a very, very talented pool of African Americans who can do all sorts of construction work and stuff. I think that we need to work on capacity building. That's one of the things that I requested on my budget is funding to provide direct capacity building to the community.
Define capacity building.
Capacity building, for example, can you look at your, do you know how to do QuickBooks? Can you do you know if your balance sheet, what your balance sheet's telling you, what your, stuff like that. And because you need to know that information, because if you're going to bid on a project, you're going to need to know how much money you're going to need for those 45 days that it takes for you to get paid for the first time. So if you say, oh, I got $10,000 in this project, but then you don't have the money to finish the project, you're not doing yourself a service, you're not doing the city a service. No, everybody's losing. So understanding what you're capable of financially, it's very important. That's one part of capacity building. And there's many parts of capacity building. That was just an example, a prime example of why capacity building is important. And I think that, I'll go back to this, I know we have mental disorders in those organizations, but they are not providing the capacity building tailored for the African American community that we need. We need specific programs, specific training programs to assist the African American community to learn how to look at their balance sheets and stuff like that. And from there, grow the business and provide businesses with stepping stones in contracting, for example, starting up with a $50,000 contract and going up and up until they can become prime contractors of $500,000 contracts. And I think that's how I envision. But for that, we need to build capacity and we need to build other systems that require funding that the program currently does not have.
When you talk about that training program that you just mentioned, is there already a product out there that does that? Or are you saying that you have to develop that yourself?
No, I did not dream of developing that. There is currently a nonprofit who has well, we're not saying we're going to go with that one, but I'm just saying there's currently a nonprofit that is doing exactly that in different municipalities. And they are they're specifically working on capacity building for Latinos, African Americans, Native Americans, Asian
There are some here too.
And then they are bringing up their communities and they're able to gain contracts and all those things because he works through the whole process of marketing, capacity, anything that capacity building can mean to you. So that's one of the things we're looking at. I'm not saying we're going to go with that because if first I have to have the money and then put an RFP or proposal on new quotes, and then from there, but also using the community, that model, for example, uses community members to train. So let's say we bring in the model, I'm just saying, if we bring that model, we would use community members who have experience in training and teaching and doing all those things to provide that technical assistance.
There's some here now who do it for nothing, and they're good. And I'm one of them, I'm one of their volunteers. We developed this model with SCORE, but it's skewed toward the African American community. That's certification, that's bid analysis and preparation, it's estimated takeoffs, DOT certifications, 8A cert.
Let's talk this
and
thing.
and it's cash flow
Okay.
analysis.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because you and I have been working a lot together lately, so let's work at that too.
I just like to see, one of the biggest concerns that I've had over time, and as somebody who's an Asheville native, I'm noticing that we're losing a lot of our talent here. And what's happening is, we have talent that's coming in here to Asheville that is actually receiving opportunities that our locals cannot. They're having to leave and go other places, and even though they own businesses, they're taking their businesses to other cities. So other cities are receiving the brightest of our bright and the best of our best. And I'd like to see that stop here in the city, because you should never have to go to college to grow up and leave home. We need to keep our people here. I think one of the ways that we can do that here in Asheville is to be mindful that when we are procuring contracts, that these people need to be able to hire locals. And they need to be able to hire black people, specifically, especially in contracting. Because I've seen too many times, especially with my mom's business, where you actually have contractors that go out here and get these contracts and will not even hire black people to work for them. That is my issue with the disparity study, because a lot of these white women who got that money, they will not hire black people. So we have definitely another issue about sustainability and affordability to our city. It's a compounded issue. It's a bottom-up issue that's going top down. So I think we as individuals and as a city need to look at it, and as a board, how to support being able to keep, if we can't help our native locals, how can we expect to grow our city beyond, the vision of what is natural to Asheville? We're going to get to a place where, and we're getting there now, where we don't even recognize who we are anymore. And so I think we need to try to maintain and retain our local talent. I'd like to see, and as you were saying, some of that comes from being able to go into these authentic neighborhoods and communities that for so long have been ignored and have actually suffered gentrification due to that. We have to go out here and these are where these contractors are at. And that's one of the reasons why they're scared to come, because they've lost everything here. So, I think that being mindful of that when you all go into these communities and you're talking to people, that everybody doesn't operate on the same level. I have to always remind myself sometimes, I'm college educated, but I try to keep things very simple and very plain. People get intimidated by big words and fancy jargon. So when we go to people, we have to meet them at their level. And I think that's something the city sometimes has forgotten, how to meet people at their level. So I'd like to see that being part of what the city is encompassing as far as trying to recruit minority contracting and any other aspect when dealing with minorities. It's a lot of cultural differences, and I know people don't really understand when we live in an age where we learn to work past things. But I think sometimes people don't even realize when you keep it basic, people will meet you at the door a lot quicker. So I think that's something that we all need to work on as far as, being able to bring people in. And that's one way to stop from excluding folks too. Just keep it basic.
Is the city, when they bring staff in to work on this project, do they mandate or suggest that the staff go through a racial equity training themselves? Like, for instance, Jade, have you been through a...
Yeah.
So the city is doing that?
We just hired an equity officer in 2017. So we're doing.
You're talking about Kimberly? Okay.
That's the equity officer's job.
Yeah.
So they are doing, and are they doing it departmentally? When you were talking about all the different departments? Good. Good.
I'm one of the equity trainers too.
Excellent.
Well, thank you for coming out and answering our questions. We're going to adjourn this meeting. If I can have a motion to close out. All right, our meeting adjourned. Thank you, commission members, for putting in so much work to just get us here to this